We're going to take a deep dive into virtual reality in the metaverse and supply chain with my guest today, Ryan Beckham. She is Director of Communications with Kingsgate Logistics. Hi, Ryan.
Hi, good to be here.
Yeah, thanks for joining me, and I want to talk about something that is still very hard to define in the minds of many people, myself included. Virtual reality makes sense to me in a way, but I'm not sure how it applies to the world of logistics and supply chain. What role is it playing today?
So if you think about a post-pandemic world, people are now accustomed to the comfort of shopping from their homes, whether it be retail, the more of clothing stores and opportunities like that, or their groceries. Everything is kind of convenient now to the click of a mouse. Mm-hmm. If you look at VR in this space, a lot more people than maybe in the past couple years are becoming more comfortable with the VR headsets in the virtual reality world, and that's where the discussion of the metaverse comes up.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's my second question. Let's do VR first.
Yeah.
So virtual reality can put you inside of a retail space, can it not? Just as if you were really there, can send you down aisles, can show you selections. Is that the sort of thing it's doing, like a literal translation of what it's like to be in a store, or are there even more creative applications and things going on?
Absolutely. So I believe that the goal right now is to allow the consumer to visit the store, be able to see themselves trying on the different clothing, the different sizes, different colors, and it would be a very accurate representation of when the actual item would come to your home. And I think that, modeling the store as if you're, in real life and real time is super important, and it creates that experience for the consumer to connect with and still feel like they're actually like a part of, the purchase, and it's not some digital, idea. Right.
So what we're seeing now is this term VR, or virtual reality, morphing into this thing called the metaverse, which is still very unclear to a lot of people. Once again, myself included. What is the metaverse in the context of what we're talking about here?
Sure. So regarding retail, I think that basically any retail company who takes advantage of this metaverse technology, this VR technology, is going to be at a massive advantage over those who don't accept that this is kind of the way that technology is moving. In the metaverse, you have the opportunity to go in yourself, but you will have people from all over the world that can enter your store, each specific metaverse. For example, our company Kingsgate has their own metaverse that we have allowed people to step into, and then they can participate and interact with anybody who's in that individual metaverse. And that's just more of a narrow defined scope of the major metaverse that kind of encompasses all of that.
Okay, so this is more than like, when I think of VR as one thing that's been used for, it's video games, where you're going through an environment, you're being led down store shelves, and you're looking at product, trying on stuff just like you described. It seems to me the metaverse takes it a step farther to the part where you can actually relate to people who are there with you. And what's the value of that in a retail setting?
So again, I think it's convenience for consumers. People want the opportunity to have more convenient ways to shop these days. We're living in a new world where the technology just, lifts up the core business goals of people that are innovative, especially in this retail space. The days of going to a mall and having to drive to the mall and walk from store to store to store are going to be something of the past at this point, because essentially you could have a mall inside the metaverse.
Yeah. Now there are no, the barriers to VR, at least originally, was people didn't want to wear these clunky headsets and things. It seems like they're getting used to it. Is that because more people are playing games and it's become a more natural part of their life, and so the objections aren't there anymore?
So in my opinion, I think it's mostly because it's become more acceptable in the professional world. For example, if you think about Zoom or Teams, virtual meetings, especially after, again, 2 years of a pandemic, there's not the sense of connection with someone as if you are sitting in this world where you feel like you are looking right at the person, even though it's an avatar. I mean, the avatars are very realistic, very detailed, but it just gives you an ability to connect with someone instead of just a screen. And, to go even further, like, there are possibilities beyond just, shopping and meetings. I mean, for example, we're here at the NRF conference. You could have virtual conferences at this point. We had digital conferences during the pandemic, and for what reason would we not be able to have a conference in the metaverse? You know, we could have people laid out in like the entire expo scene where you could walk from booth to booth, and you could be present at your booth to be able to connect with people as they walk through the expo. So I think that it's going beyond just like the fun and the games, but I think it's being embraced in more of a business aspect.
How interesting. Tell me a little bit more about the innovations that you see out there in supply chain and logistics with a particular emphasis on data insights and technology.
So we believe that data and insights are the key to giving your customers, your carriers, your shippers the most accurate information on their shipments, specifically in the retail space. There are so many outside environmental factors that can impact, you know, different freight lanes and different rates. And when you use like market data, you have the ability to give accurate rates. You know, if you use, we've been speaking with a like AI, like weather type innovation system or company that can look at the most like detailed, specific freight lanes and where the weather will impact them along the freight lane, and it will give the driver an ability to say, you know, maybe you don't want to take this route. It might delay your shipment by 2 hours. It gives the warehouses who are receiving better heads up so they know how to plan for their inventory. I mean, there's just so much technology that everybody should be utilizing to be able to like help everybody have more accurate insights into their shipments.
Great. Well, all that's really interesting, and I thank you so much, Ryan, for kind of describing it to us, but I'd like just to take a quick moment for you to tell me a little bit about Kingsgate Logistics specifically. Who are you folks, and where do you fit into the whole picture?
Kingsgate Logistics is a family-owned and operated third-party logistics business based in Cincinnati, Ohio. I'm a part of the third generation of the family, so that makes it a really interesting dynamic with the family business, but super exciting. We focus on inbound freight, and we have our own custom portal known as Compass, where we have our own proprietary software, which is our PO module, that really provides shippers and vendors with insights as to you know, where their specific SKU level or your SKU number is on any type of truck. So, you know, just to circle back on everything, you know, at Kingsgate we really do believe in the importance of innovation and embracing this technology and this data at our fingertips to, you know, have a better transaction with our customers and carriers, and hopefully this can help inspire other people to embrace the technology and innovation we're seeing in 2022.
Ryan, I want to thank you for an actual conversation about a virtual world.
You're so
maybe
welcome.
next time we won't be in person together, but it was fun now.
Absolutely.
The last of the personal contact, but thank you very much for your time.
Thanks for having me.
Really appreciate it.
Thanks.
I've been speaking with Ryan Beckham of Kingsgate Logistics. Thank you very much for watching.